Here, I gotta like show this. The Stellar Jay's been over here for like 5 minutes, just chilling. Let's see if I can find you. There you are. Yeah, look at it. Stellar Jay right there. Just chilling. Thing looks like such a dinosaur. Straight up looks like a little dino. Dude, look at the little head of his. It's wacky. Oh, where are you going? Crazy thing. Now it's in there somewhere. Don't know, bird. Don't know what though. That was another bird. Let me sit this out here really quick. So I'm gonna brush my hair and get my pants on, but maybe it might land over here. Little sucker almost did. My work shirt on my pants, and little dude landed like right over here, like right on the side of the tree. Keeps flying back and forth though. Surprised there aren't no squirrels, just a bunch of birbs. Stellar jays, crows, and I think some finches, but I have no idea. What's going on up there? Can't even tell. Oh, there's a stellar jay again. Showing yourself off, aren't you? Still, there's recognizing that I'm dropping shit. What the fuck? What? Wait, hold up. Whoa, what did it just do? Did I just see you fly backwards? I could have swore I just saw it like whoop, but also go backwards. Like it flew backwards onto another branch. Are these things fucking ninjas? Okay, my mind just got blown like way too early for this morning. What the fuck? Okay, my brain just got like blown up from that one. Whoa. My brain could not process that, and I just had to process that. That was a little okay. That bird just broke my brain. That bird broke my brain. I can't even. I'm trying to. My brain hurts thinking about that. What the fuck? How did it do that? Fucking ninja ass bird. What the fuck? Fucking like flying around like it defies laws of gravity. Jesus. What the fuck, bro? Fucking crazy ass burbs. I just forgot to grab my shoes. Kinda need those. I'll just set you here real quick. Have this. The void. Crazy doggo. So I had to hair up a little bit, make that better. Deal with other bodily duties. Okay, didn't even bother tying these fuckers up yet, so I'm doing it now. I don't know why I got that song in my head right about now. Where it's like that one fucking Disney song from, what is it, Princess the Frog or some shit? Come on, boys, won't you shake a poor sinner's hand? I mean, the song's a fucking bop, actually, so there's every good reason for it to be in my head, honestly. It do be kind of a bop. Alright, there we go. Goofy doggo. Hey, you're just so goofy, aren't you? Yeah, there we go. So many fucking hooks. Then these laces are so fucking long, I have to wrap these around. What the hell? It's not even outside, that's Dad. Like, oh my god, you're freaking out and about to boof over that? You can't be serious, doggo. Truly cannot be serious. Ugh. Get in. Go on. Let's go, Pupple. You crazy Pupple, you. Random empty jar. Oh my god. That's just excellent thing. Yeah, whatever.
Come on, anyway.
Dog. Coffee. Ooh, delicious. Oh, coffee. Alright. We are missing Bluetooth. God damn it, I really didn't have to want to get up after I just settled down. I have the coffee open, about to get a bowl going, and forget the Bluetooth. Forget the speaker. No! How dare I? Where to go? Where to go? There you are. No. No crazy Stella J or nothing around here. Yeah, looks like it went on its way. The birb went on its way. Crazy birb went on its way to find laws of gravity. Like, I'm pretty sure, I wish I could have recorded it, but I'm pretty fucking sure I saw that bird defy laws of physics earlier. Like, I truly have not seen a bird that will, like, fly up, but also backwards in, like, a singular motion to lift themselves up, like, on another perch. And the thing is, if you were to think about it from the bird going from the top perch to the bottom one, it would make sense, but it was literally the opposite. Like, it did reverse time or something. It was fucking whack. Like, it legit broke my brain there for a second. Like, fucking doing crazy ass, like, aerobatic moves and shit. Like, what the fuck? I was not ready for that. My brain's still trying to process that, actually. Ugh. Because it, like, flew like it was about to take off and go that way. But no, it went like, whoop, whoop. It's like, it was weird. Dad, don't really need a charger, fucking. Realize I don't have it on me, but meh. Meh. Get some of that right back on that. Cool. So we get the boat loaded. Oh, I get this going too. Let's see what type of stuff is going on for today. For the lovely Friday. If it could ever be considered lovely. I know that in about 5 to 4 hours time, while I'm at work, Deep Fat Friday is going to be doing their Matt Walsh gauntlet, and at least they're doing a little prelude where it's like, well, I guess they're technically doing 7 hours, yeah, so they at least have 1 hour for the public and the rest for the patrons, and I'm just glad I'm working today, so I don't have to succumb myself to the entirety of that. Because I sure as shit want to be exposed to 6 hours of fucking Matt Walsh. Like, that is exceptional. Because I can already think of many things I could do with just 5 minutes with him, let alone 6 hours. So it's just like, oh god, having to deal with his ass. I'm pretty sure they're gonna need to have, like, a "that was easy" censor button or some shit. But instead of saying "that was easy," it's just simply, you know, the buzzer. They're gonna need to have, for all 3 of them, on standby. For sure. I know Scotty does every now and then for his brother TJ when he gets a little too rambunctious, but even TJ's gonna need to have one for himself. He's just going to. They're all going to have to. Because Matt Walsh is just that triggering. He triggers me that much, or at least for me. And it does for pretty much most everybody else. I don't think I've talked to one person that, you know, is just like, that doesn't get to a certain point with either looking or talking about Matt Walsh where they want to, like, do extreme harm to this person. Eventually it always gets brought up. He's just one of those dudes, which is for good reason, though. I mean, he's a sarcastic terrorist and a fucking, like, an advocate of violence after all, anyway. And is also one to die trying, because he's openly said that too. It's like, I will die fighting this. I will not bend. It's like, oh god, great. Lunch anyhow. It's because I rock. I just refuse. Yeah, it's a random news stuff about AOC. I don't know if I give enough shit about. Muppet babies destroy Western society. Oh, wait, what? Muppet babies? Huh? So, God, what? Is this another thing they're freaking out about? Muppet babies now? Wait, so is this just the Muppets but for, like, kids? And they're freaking out over that. Why are adult conservatives freaking out over an unironic kids show? You can't actually be serious. Well, okay. I actually want to check this out. Like, oh, it's like, oh my god. You can't be for real. Come on, turn up. There we go.
Okay. Alright, fine. You guys want this? How long are these videos? Alright.
Plain Gonzarella.
Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. Wait, right into it. Fuck.
Muppet babies.
This is Jonas J. Campbell from That Park Place, and this is everything woke about Muppet babies.
Oh no, what is this? Oh god. It's all produced and everything too. Oh no. Oh my god, you know what? I'm now just immediately realizing this is almost like the cinema sin shit. But for like anti-SGW freaks. Oh no. It's just conservative cinema sins. Oh man. That's what's going on here. I can already tell just with like the with like the video. Like it's meant to try to be like a Cinema Sins copycat. Oh my god, why are they always trying to copy these formats?
A junior reboot aimed at children ages 2 to 5 years old. Season 3 episode.
That's the point of a junior. Never mind, whatever.
18A. Gonzarella.
I'm making invitations for the party we're throwing later today.
The blonde-haired, blue-eyed Karen is throwing a party. Nothing could go wrong.
Wait, the blonde-haired, blue-eyed Karen. That's what we started off with. I think that was meant to be Miss Piggy, I think. Which I can already tell the character annoys the shit. Like, everything about these kid shows annoy the fuck out of me. So I don't know if I'm going to even be able to get through all of this. But holy shit. Like, right off the bat. Like, what makes what makes Miss Piggy a Karen?
The one in Cinderella?
And also, did they not know what, like, Gonzo is? Like, he's, like... I guess realistically, they're like legitimately like kind of an androgynous alien. There isn't like they're technically non-binary. There isn't really a gender for them. It's just Gonzo the alien. That's who they are. Like, I mean, do they not know that?
This is an adult man? Is this what this guy... Hold on, I'm sorry.
I guess I'm supposed to say... I guess I'm supposed to believe this is an adult man, but I feel like I'm, listening to a man-child.
Is this what this guy actually
This
looks like?
is Jonas J. Campbell.
No.
Oh my god, nah, he just has Ewan McGregor. That's Ewan McGregor, dude. He literally just shopped Ewan McGregor's head onto a business suit, like, Photoshop thing. Oh my god, dude. This, wow.
Okay.
Wow.
This is a rant soda using Ewan McGregor's face. That's Ewan McGregor's face photoshopped onto a rant soda.
Because that's supposed to make you more sophisticated.
Oh god, but presumably based on the voice, this is an adult.
Oh, you know what? I just remembered. Like, Ewan McGregor would also detest this. Like, he's actually, like, I mean, somewhat progressive for, like, for who he is and shit. I mean, like, he's openly come out talking about, like, yeah, trans rights are cool and shit like that. So, like, he would, like, Ewan McGregor would look at this channel and be like, what are you doing using your liking for this unfortunate manner? How dare you? I demand you take my liking and my face off of your ungodly poultry. Ugh.
Well, oh god. Can't. Okay. Let's just keep that in mind. An adult man is doing a Cinema Sins woke reaction to a Disney baby show. Alright, let's do
Pure
it.
imagery to introduce an unfamiliar concept.
The fairy godmother gave Cinderella a real fancy dress and matching glass slippers. Glass slippers? Gotcha!
Feminization of a masculine character.
I had a load of...
Feminization of masculine. Gonzo is not masculine. Oh my god, holy shit. They are literally, like, this butthurt over it. Oh my god, it is so hilarious.
Gonzo isn't a masculine character.
I mean, how can you even tell, like, honestly, considering that the motherfucker literally be an alien?
Gonzo is a Muppet.
A dress! I'd love to wear a dress like that to your royal ball.
Encouraging male characters to wear feminine clothes in a show aimed at 2-year-olds.
Gonzo?
How, what? I love how pretty much every tiny little snippet is always just an immediate just assumption of what the fuck is going on. It's just like, yep, this is an absolute male character because I decided to perceive it as such, even though it's straight up like just a regular old fucking alien that is got no concept of that. Like, it's just so of course Gonzo ain't gonna give a fuck. I mean, like, oh my god, it's like, holy shit. The fact that, like, there are so many man-children are freaking out even over this type of shit, oh my god. How can you take any of this, like, anti-SJW fucking shit so, with any seriousness when this is the fucking shit that they're freaking out about? Like, oh my god. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get for the rest of that, to be frank, because of just the fact that there's a kid show, and those shows really annoy the shit out of me. And honestly, like, what truly can be said? Like, besides, like, wow, you man-child, grow up. Oh my god, it's literally a kid show. Why care? Holy fuck. GoPro. Oh my god. Holy Jesus Christ, here comes Venom sucking out again. Zukov. GoPro broke. Well, too bad that, like, you know, literally going, like, so broke that, like, I mean, you pretty much, like, essentially go on unhinged rants about, like, literally the most slightest thing that isn't even woke at all. Like, yeah, I'm pretty sure those that are going woke are not going broke at all. If anything, it's essentially the opposite. Seems like they're making a fuckload of money every time they decide to go woke. Are you gonna be done boofing over there? Oh. Okay. Blow a nose real quick. Ugh. Ugh. Nasty. Nasty. Blah. Here, here's some random other tidbit of news. This I can at least, you know, get through without feeling like I'm about to have an aneurysm. Oh, and it's about Republicans in Montana being an utter piece of shit. Basically doing the soft version of what they did to Justin Jones and Pearson. But, you know, knowing that if they went all the way like they did with them, like, would have been a very bad look. So they're just like, alright, let's just, like, oppress this person's, this woman's, like, speech to be able to, like, partake in any sessions, essentially, for the rest of the year. You know, still be a lawmaker, but just literally can't partake in any sessions or do any of, like, you know, the lawmaking procedural shit. So, you can still be there, but now you're just there as a token. That's essentially what's going on. So, instead of actually doing full-on expulsion, they're just suppressing their ability to speak and do any of that shit. Bill Scott and stream title, 1,000-yard stare. Is jail worth it? Dude, for real, man. Within about, what, like 4 to 5 hours, like, they're gonna be doing that shit. I mean, I kind of have to prep myself, I think, a little bit. I mean, this doesn't really have anything to do with Mount Walsh, but maybe this will kind of prep me, considering that, like, the topic is going to be something predominantly Mount Walsh will pretty much be... Oh my god, I just realized, like, that most of that 6-hour gauntlet is essentially just going to be Mount Walsh freaking out about trans people. Like, because that's literally all he does. Oh my god. Oh my fucking god, dude. I'm actually starting to not feel good, dude. Oh my god. That... You found some coconut oil to put in the overnight oats and it was amazing. Nice. Hey! Zukov! Hey, dude! Bro! Hey! Hey! Oi! Oi! Bro! Bro! Oi! Hey! Get over here! Come here! What the fuck? Get over here! I like how crumpling this bad guy's attention. And I'm gonna repeatedly hit you in the face with this crumpled bag. You jerk. It was a great way to really realign my shock sync, my vibration, so if I start dropping truth bombs, that's why. Well, there you go. Nice.
So when I rose up and said, there is blood on your hands, I was not being hyperbolic.
Now, I wanted to address Montana. We kind of touched on, somebody asked the question about this last week about Zoe Zephyr in Montana. But the GOP voted to ban her for the rest of the legislative session. I don't know if anyone else has covered this and wants to...
I interviewed Aaron Reed yesterday.
Oh, do you want to talk about this, Lance? Because this is such a huge...
Totally.
Yeah.
Everything in the universe is connected. We are merely a part of the singularity. That's true.
Zoe Zephyr is a badass, and her story needs to be heard.
She's an incredible badass. She gave this incredibly impassionate speech where it basically ended with, the other side, there was this TERF in the audience who was basically standing up and being like, we don't want this stuff happening to children, blah, blah. And it ended with, Zoe straight up being like, then you have blood on your hands, pretty much. And so they did the undemocratic thing of, even though Zoe can't affect the vote, she's not able to stop the vote. Her vote would not, stop this bill from going through, but they silenced her, and they're not allowing her to speak because, again, they're scared of the words, these right-wingers. And man, she...
Because honestly, it's whenever there's a Democrat that actually, I guess in this case, no pun intended, but has balls, and is willing to stand up for people's rights and shit, especially the Republicans tend to be pretty scared about that and won't do anything to shut them up. And Democrats, at least for the party, seem to just be nowhere to be found when it comes to voicing their support for these type of people and shit. I haven't heard the Democratic Party openly defending Zoe Zephyr whatsoever. Or really Justin Jones and Pearson. A lot of the base, slash media to an extent has been covering them. But the actual Democratic Party themselves, no. I haven't heard anything. It might, there might be a support, within, a tweet here and there. You might get a lawmaker that might make, posted a little nice tweet of support. But to actually, put their voice and, kind of their body, so to speak, on the line, figuratively, being no, what's going on is wrong and shit, I haven't seen that. So the Democrats basically stabbing in the back and abandoning them, and, when they decide to get some balls, and, the Republicans, oppress them and shit because they want to shut them up. So, people like Zoe Zephyr and Justin Jones and Pearson, tend to get fucked over due to this type of shit. And despite that, though, tend to get a lot more limelight and a lot more coverage just because of that, though. But really, it should be an indictment on the fucking Democratic Party, because, like, if they, aren't recognizing that they have these, like, firebrands coming out, from the woodworks in their local state legislators and shit, then then what the fuck are they doing? Like, they should be taking advantage of the fact that, people like Justin Jones, Zoe Zephyr, etc. are like, Katie Hopper and shit, or Katie Horper. Like, these names, like, and the fact that people recognize them and their firebrands to some way, shape, or form, like, they need to be boosting them, but they don't. Like, they're just like, oh, yeah, they're there, cool. That's literally as far as it ever goes, instead of, like, hey, they should be, like, our faces of the party right now, because they should. Like, Zoe Zephyr, Justin Jones, Katie Horper, like, these names should be the face of the party right now, not the current fucking people. And they're, for the most part, all just, like, local, state-level lawmakers and shit. They're not national level at all. Honestly, I'd argue that, like, Democratic Party lawmakers on the state level, mainly in, like, red states like Montana, Tennessee and shit, tend to be the ones that are, like, getting some balls and a backbone. Like, I got more respect for Democrats in red states more so than anything else, because in their mind, they legit seem like they got nothing else to lose, so fuck it. Like, they recognize the whole, pragmatist thing ain't gonna work, so fuck it. Go radical. And if anything, that does more good for them. Like, because now they're getting more support, being more on the national level, and people are, being more aware and liking them now, way more and more, like, because that's what people want. It's like, take a hint, Democrats, you fucking, like, spineless fucking cowards. What's this? On Venus, it snows. Metal? It snows metal? Dude, that's metal. That's metal as fuck. It snows metal. Bruh. It snows metal, dude. Venus snow can't exist. Galenia bismuthinite. Whoa. I don't even know what those type of metals are, but dude. Bruh. And it looks like it is snow, too. That's what makes it even cooler. It looks like this, like, orangey, like, snow, almost. Like, it has, like, this very orangey hue. Dude, it looks really cool. It's like rusty snow. Dude, that is dope. That is really fucking cool.
Help.
Metallic rust snow.
The microphone up there like a fucking legend, and then all of a sudden, if you see the upper deck, you watch the footage, in come the police, and all these people chanting, let her speak, and then you see all these fucking cops come out of nowhere. So, like, at one point, they just, like, push this old lady out of the way so they can actually, like, start hitting someone else. I was like, whoa, this shit is going down. But why isn't the free speech crowd say anything about this? Like, they've been just absolute radio silence about this.
Yeah, and you want to know what they're calling this? They're calling this an insurrection. That justified her being banished. The same exact...
Okay, I know Mike is literally about to say it, but that is the exact same fucking argument was used for Justin Jones and Pearson. The main difference is that, I feel like probably just because Shane Black, but because she's a trans woman, you know, they're not going to outright expel her, but just suppress her. You know, just like they did the other two. And again, this is fucking the Republicans over in a way because it's just bringing more light to Zoe Zephyr and showing how much of a firebrand and how how ballsy she is. Like, again, no pun intended with that, but it's just like, because she has a backbone, she has a spine, and ain't afraid to, you know, tell it how it is. And we need more people like that. That's the reason why the Republicans are so gung-ho about trying to shut these people up.
Justin Pearson and Justin Jones getting banished from Tennessee, right? Oh, it was an insurrection. So this is the go-to tactic. You know, it's an insurrection, and that's how they stifle democracy and free speech.
But January 6th was not an insurrection whatsoever. That was just a peaceful protest.
Is that, maybe you can find it. In Zoe's speech, she finally had the opportunity to speak, because what the Freedom Caucus had demanded was that she apologize because she dared to say that they'd have blood on their hands if they passed the ban on gender-affirming care for trans youth. But in her speech, it was incredible, it was powerful. Let me try to find it, because I want people to see this. Like, what she says here is really important, because she doubles down and basically is defiant and says, like, I'm paraphrasing, she didn't say that, but, you know, she reiterated that what they're doing is literally killing people. In fact, somebody had reached out with a trans kid to her and said that just watching the session, like, their trans kid tried to unalive themselves. So, like, she's trying to...
Jesus. During the set, like, while watching... Oh, my God. Like, you got kids, like, watching these things, you know, which in a way is kind of inspiring, knowing that there is youth that are being aware and active, you know, in these type of things, but to the point where it's, like, negatively impacting them that much, it's like, oh, my God. It's like, I mean, I get it, like, I mean, you gotta pay attention to this type of shit, but when it gets to that level, like, you gotta take a break. You gotta get your brain off of that, because it ends up not being good.
Explain to them the impact that their bills are having, even before they're passed, and they're ignoring her. But let me try to find that speech, because it's really good.
Aaron had two kind of really happy anecdotes. One being that someone actually had the opposite, where they were going to unalive themselves and they didn't because they saw how impassioned Zoe was speaking, which is just like, you know, such an incredible...
Damn, so there's another anecdote of the exact opposite. Jesus, man. I mean, people definitely, especially trans folks, seem to have very mixed reactions about these things. I mean, a lot of people seem to be, you know, inspired due to the fact Zoe Zephyr is there, and that's because she has a backbone. And, you know, and there's also a lot of people that are scared about, like, what the Republicans are doing and aren't recognizing, you know, or maybe they are, but aren't really, you know, realizing the power that Zoe Zephyr really has. I mean, yeah, it's like, unfortunately, this bill is probably just going to go through anyway. In fact, probably already did. But, I mean, it's not like it's going to stay there forever, for one, and for two, like, knowing that there's at least a constant voice always nagging and barking about, like, you know, having that shit taken out and stuff is good. I mean, and will continue to grow, you know, despite the fact that these type of things are being pushed right now. It's like they're short-term games for long-term losses for these fuckers.
Moments in history. And then someone, while I was interviewing Erin and she was telling me that story, someone in my chat popped up and said, can you tell the same thing to Erin right now? Because that happened to me. If it wasn't for her YouTube channel back in, like, you know, these years ago, I would have done the same thing. So can you please thank her for me? And I was like, wow. This is incredible when you see those kind of moments, right? Like, they're really beautiful, touching.
This is why representation is so important. I just found the video, I posted it in our private chat. But yeah, this is really what they're doing to her is so but predictable. But her speech is really good.
It is my honor today, as with every day in this body, to rise on behalf of my constituents in House District 100 from Missoula, Montana, who elected me to be their representative in the People's House. Today, I rise in defense of those constituents, of my community, and of democracy itself. Last week,
I'm just noticing that, like, with a lot of these Democrats that do actually have a backbone, they actually seem to understand what the fuck representing their constituents mean and really emphasize about talking about them. Like, you know, actually making the constituents seem like they're a part of, like, the whole broader process. Like, I mean, this is another thing I'm noticing these Democrats with backbones are doing, is that they're really emphasizing this whole sense of, like, you know, my community, my constituents, people, you know, that voted me, you know, because I care about them. Like, there's, like, this sense of solidarity with, like, the people that voted them in, because they recognize, like, that's why they're there. They don't sell out.
on the governor's amendment.
I mean, it's like they might, you know, like, frankly, at the end of the day, like, with these different names and shit, like Katie Horper, Zoe Zephyr, etc., like, I'm sure there's definitely plenty of ideas that I don't totally agree with them with. But that, to me, that don't fucking matter. Like, the fact that, you know, especially the values that we do agree on. And frankly, I guarantee there's probably very little that I'm going to disagree with people like Zoe Zephyr or Justin Jones on and shit. But, like, you know, despite that, like, the fact that there's so much that is to be agreed on and they are willing to, you know, go all the way to fight for that shit is good enough for me. Like, whatever the 10-something% of shit that we disagree with, whatever. Like, you know, when that shit comes up, it does. But, you know, as far as I'm concerned right now, I don't give a shit.
And
It's at least it's better than, like, you know, not liking 60 to 70% of what Democrats push and shit, and only liking 30% of their stuff and being like, yay, not like the other guys, great, so inspiring. At least it's better than that.
99, which banned gender-affirming care. This was a bill that was one of many targeting the LGBTQ community in Montana. This legislature has systematically attacked that community. We have seen bills targeting our art forms, our books, our history, and our health care. And I rose up in defense of my community that day, speaking to harms that these bills bring and that I have firsthand experience knowing about. I have had friends who have taken their lives because of these bills. I have fielded calls from families in Montana, including one family whose trans teenager attempted to take her life while watching a hearing on one of the anti-trans bills. And in that hearing, our caucus pleaded with the Republican chair of the Judiciary Committee to not allow certain testimony, to keep decorum. And we were told a lot of people have a lot of opinions on these things. So when I rose up and said, there is blood on your hands, I was not being hyperbolic. I was speaking to the real consequences of the votes that we as legislators take in this body. And when the speaker asks me to apologize, what he is, on behalf of decorum, what he is really asking me to do is be...
one thing I'm noticing, too, is she is very calm and cool collected. Like, especially considering that she's fixating on this thing that the Republicans were like, decorum, blah, blah, blah. Like, considering that pretty much every time I've seen Zoe speak, it's always, like, this very soft and, like, soft-voiced, very cool-headed, like, not even being loud or rambunctious whatsoever. She's, like, the opposite. I mean, I feel like I'm, like, comforted. Like, I feel like that's how I feel, like, warm and snuggly, like, when I listen to her. I mean, unlike, you know, like Justin Jones and Pearson, where they're very, like, almost, like, pastor-like. I mean, not, like, full-on religious, so to speak. I mean, they definitely kind of interweave it to a slight extent, but done very well that even, like, people who are secular or atheistic, you know, can really be down with it, because I am. But, like, I mean, it's just a different tact, you know, because, like, instead of using, like, a different type of, you know, like, charisma, it's more of just, you know, keeping that very cool-headed veneer and really undermine the entire idea of, oh, she lacks decorum, because how can she does that when she's just like, yeah, so y'all have blood on your hands, bitch. Like, just saying it super calmly, basically. Like, and just saying it so, you know, like, dove-like almost, you know? It's just like very like feather-like. She ain't going in there with a fucking sledgehammer, you know? I kind of wish it would a little bit, I will admit, but I mean, it works, especially considering the whole idea that, you know, she supposedly lacks decorum. As far as I'm concerned, she has way more decorum than the Republicans do.
When my community is facing bills that get us killed, he's asking me to be complicit in this legislature's eradication of our community, and I refuse to do so, and I will always refuse to do so. I would also say that if you use decorum to silence people who hold you accountable, then in the name of all you are doing is using decorum as a tool of oppression.
Damn.
Additionally, when the speaker disallowed me to speak, what he was doing is taking away the voices of the 11,000 Montanans who elected me to speak on their behalf. And when I was continued to not be recognized, what my constituents in my community did is came here and said, that is our voice in this body. Let her speak. Let her speak. And when the speaker gavelled down the people demanding that democracy work, demanding that their representative be heard, when he gavelled down, what he was doing is driving a nail in the coffin of democracy.
Yeah.
Damn.
Damn, that's good.
Tough stuff. Yeah, right?
Damn. See, I mean, and again, considering, like, how she is just so calm, cool, collected about it, it just makes it, like, even more like, oh, shit. At least in my mind, just because, I mean, you know, she ain't losing her cool about it, even though she frankly would have every right to, but she knows that if she were to even do that, like, an iota, like, you know, step over, she would have easily been quickly silenced over shit like that. So she just, like, is really intelligent about, like, you know, getting her shit through. And the thing is, like, yeah, is she gonna be able to, like, stop any of this shit? No, but that's not the point. Like, she even said it. It's like, I ain't gonna be complicit. Even though, like, at the end of the day, I can't necessarily stop all this, I'm still not gonna be complicit. Like, I mean, she's, you know, saying, fuck this whole complicit pragmatism, I'm gonna continue to fight this shit. And that actually has more conviction than just being bipartisan and, you know, being like, well, can't do it. See, I guess it's not on the menu here in Montana. Because, like, I mean, like, she's trying to put that on the fucking political menu, and no one's gonna be able to do that unless you have motherfuckers out there doing it. And Zoe Zephyr's the one doing that shit. At least, you know, when it comes to Montana specifically in this case. Like, I mean, that's kind of, you know, broadly the thing. Like, I mean, like, when it comes to the broader status quo in this current system, like, unless there are people out there, you know, even if they're, like, you know, a small voice that can't necessarily fundamentally change the system, especially just by themselves, just merely being a loudmouth and at least disrupting it, you know, with their voice, you know, is good in itself and brings more awareness to these problems. Like, I mean, you know, say what you want about Bernie. I mean, especially these days, like, I definitely got, you know, issues with him, you know, especially basically literally 2 seconds after Biden announced, he just, like, without question endorsed his ass. You know, plenty of fucking problems to have with him right now. But if there's at least, you know, one thing, you know, that you can grant him is that despite, you know, not being able to really, like, you know, be president or, you know, get all the way, you know, go all the way, he did establish a voice, you know, bringing awareness to a lot of these different issues, and because of that, this type of shit is, you know, being able to happen because of that. So, I mean, you know, in a way, there's at least, you know, a lot of, you know, legit, like, inspiration to be had due to these type of things, you know, like, having a domino effect. And the thing is, you know, I've said it before, like, this type of shit takes time. Like, it ain't gonna happen overnight, obviously. I mean, you know, these type of lawmakers, like, they popped up, like, shortly after, you know, like, you know, Bernie did his thing. You know, it's like, it was around, like, you know, 2016, 2018, 2020 is when these lawmakers started coming out. Or in 2022, even. So it's like a lot of these, you know, more, like, backboned, different, like, lawmakers and shit that actually have a spine. They're all the ones, you know, that have been, in the last, like, couple election cycles that have been coming out. Because they've been inspired by other voices who are willing to say, you know, yeah, even though I might not be able to change everything myself, like, I'm willing to at least, you know, put awareness to it. I'm going to be a voice for it.
Right?
Yeah, I just want to add also, because there's, like, things are escalating quickly. To every single LGBTQ person watching this, make sure that you have an action plan. If you need to leave your particular state, It may come to that in the near future. So,
or potentially, you know, if you're in the mental fortitude to do so and have the capability of being responsible enough, even maybe acquiring a firearm or two.
Up with other trans people and LGBTQ allies across the country. Try to do that. Have your passport ready in case you have to flee the state. And also, really, really importantly, because this is nothing that I paid attention to before, pay very close attention to local school board meetings, because right-wingers are infiltrating these, trying to take them over, even in blue states. And so even
like
in
Oregon,
that state, they're good, and they're a trans refugee state.
Actually, speaking of school district stuff, I actually have like some local election shit that's going on here, and it is predominantly for the county. And where is it? You know, I think it says on here, special district election. That's basically what it's called, and it's for community college director, education and service director, and then there's also a county fire director positions. And what's funny is that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So out of 10, like half of these literally only have one person. So that basically already sums up, you know, like half of this ain't being filled out. And then there's a county fire measure 3-594. Summary of this is actually good. Is shall Clackamas Fire District implement a 5-year emergency service levy at 52 cents per thousand assessed value beginning fiscal year 2023-24. And it's basically the enhanced local option levy to support medical response throughout the district. Funds will be used for additional firefighter, first aid responder positions in all parts of the district to improve response time, safety, and effectiveness. Full-time 24/7 career staffing at 2 rural fire stations. Logan and Clark said that are critical to wildfire emergency response, probably predominantly for wildfires. And implementation of quick response vehicles staffed and trained by firefighter paramedics, which I feel like these need to be separate, but okay. For medical and other emergencies in high-volume service areas. Like, why do firefighters have to deal with paramedic shit? Like, goddamn. Poor firefighters, bro. Equipment and operational costs connected to wildfire preparedness. Yeah, so a lot of this is mostly about, like, wildfire preparedness and shit like that. So I'm definitely voting yes, because I don't want my shit burning down. So I want to, have funding, to help protect communities from shit like that. So, I mean, basically, a little over half of this is going to be filled out, probably. I'm going to look into, or at least who I can look into when it comes to these other names and see who's the crazy QAnon psychopath and who isn't. So, yeah. I know there's a pamphlet, for these things somewhere around here, but I got no fucking idea where any of that is. So, when I find it, I'll see. Or I could just see if I can find their names online. But either way, besides the point.
Example. Well, at the local level, you can have these parents that are anti-LGBTQ take it over, and so if you have like a trans child that goes to that school, they can completely control, what is and isn't appropriate. So these little small things that none of us are paying attention to at the local level, you need to really get involved, especially now, and protect yourself, because.
I mean, honestly, this is at least why when it comes to voting, or at least, broadly when it comes to those things, I say the local/state level is the most important. Because, this is where I think your voice would actually have the most impact. And also, at least, especially the more local you get. Like, when it comes to, my local county and stuff like that, that's where my voice has the most impact. On state level, it's not as much, but, it still has somewhat of a marginal impact. National level, fuck all, not really. It barely does. Especially when you have the Electoral College in place. It really does not mean anything. Until the Electoral College is removed, the national vote really doesn't mean fuck all. It's just like, if your state didn't vote in polarity, what you voted for, basically, then that, your state electorally is going to go somewhere else. It don't fucking matter. Which is bullshit. That's why, honestly, there's so many, issues when it comes to national elections, is predominantly due to the Electoral College. That shit needs to just be abolished. So goddamn old and outdated. I can understand it maybe used symbolically as like a sense of like, you know, maybe looking at it as like a sense of data analytics. Like, you know, I can see it maybe being used symbolically as like that doesn't actually impact the election results, but it's like a way to maybe like gauge, you know, broader like, you know, electoral value or some shit. I don't fucking know. Like, I can understand maybe like, you know, some sort of a symbolic, figurative like data sense of using it. But beyond that, it shouldn't be used to fucking sway a goddamn election. That shit's retarded. I mean, at this point, like, maybe back in the old 1800s and shit, that made sense, but not anymore. That shit don't make no damn sense. It's goddamn obsolete and broken.
Things are only deteriorating in this country, and if Republicans win the presidency in 2024, I can only imagine it's going to get worse, because look at all that they're doing now. But if they have, like, national control, I fear for people in this country. LGBTQ plus families.
Out when that happens, in other words.
Yeah, Andrew and I talked about this when we were on your show about like an action plan to leave. Like I remember talking about, you know, getting my own passport, you know, ready and whatnot, because things are getting bad. Like I don't think it's ever been this bad.
Well, I mean, I don't got enough money to take advantage of things like, you know, using my passport to go to another country, so I literally would just have to basically be like, alright, well, Second Amendment rights, baby. Yay! I mean, that's really kind of how it is. Like, I'm living too much paycheck to paycheck to afford that, you know, living in another country for a while. Like, and also I'm not really necessarily willing to abandon everything. Plus, I got a damn dog, you know, for fuck's sake. Like, I mean, yeah, that's gonna be great going for customs. So, like, I mean, yeah, it's just gonna be a goddamn nightmare. Like, you know, yeah, I mean, you know, for what it's worth, at least Oregon is, you know, still broadly in, you know, decent, like, hands? Question mark? At least better hands in, you know, in comparison to the rest of the country, so to speak. I mean, you know, so, like, I don't know. So, like, for me, I'm willing to stick it out. I've already kind of made my mind up on that, like, frankly, like, because I do have a passport, but I just recognize there ain't going to be no real way for me to just GTFO if that's what it came down to. I just recognize that wouldn't be possible.
Have to bring somebody of a celebrity status up, but just to show you just how it affects everyone regardless of your means. I mean, they had the means to get out, but...
Oh, the NBA?
NBA star Dwayne Wade just announced in an interview that he had to get his family out of
That's why I got a call from them earlier. Well, hey, that's fine.
Florida.
I guess I can.
His family wasn't going to be safe there. He has a trans daughter. And, I mean, when someone of that stature is telling you that we had to get out even, then, I mean, you know, it's a big fucking deal. I mean, it shouldn't have to get to that level where a celebrity is saying that and it should mean something, but I think in this case, it's important for people to understand that this is a big fucking deal. Like, all the money in the world isn't going to save you from what's going on here.
Yeah.
And people are saying in the chat, rightfully so, that, like, you have to have the means to move, right? You can't just get up and leave. So because of the situation deteriorating, there are organizations popping up that you could look into. For example, I got an email from the founder of Transport, which is an organization to basically move LGBTQ plus refugees to locations where they need to be. But that's why I also emphasize that we have Twitter, we have social media. Try to link up with a trans person or LGBTQ plus ally across the country, so where if you need to flee, they can potentially provide you with shelter. Like, these are things that you have to take into account, like preparations that you should make. Have 1 or 2 action plans. Make sure that you protect yourself. If you don't have a gun, you can pick up a taser. You can get a taser.
Yeah, I love how even Mike Figueredo is implying, like, if you don't got a gun, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, get one, then, you know, you got a taser and stuff like that. Man, Mike Figueredo used to be way more predominantly about, like, not encouraging gun accessibility, so to speak. I mean, it wasn't like he was outright against it, but never really, like, made a big, you know, thing about, like, you know, firearm ownership. Lately, though, that has changed. Mike is, like, kind of, like, changed on that front a little bit. It's like, hey, queer people, you know, if you feel like it, maybe get a self-defense, like a gun or a taser or some other shit. He didn't really openly say it, but, you know, he was implying that. It's not the first time I've caught that. Like, there's actually been openly explicit times where he's, called for, LGBT folks to potentially, arm themselves and defend themselves.
For like $400, you need to learn self-defense. The situation is getting bad, and I'm just telling you now that we're all kind of like frogs in a boiling pot of water, right? You don't know the exact point when you need to jump out when it gets too hot, but it's boiling. We know that the pot is boiling, so just take precautions now, get your passport ready, and take these threats seriously. I'm not saying that it's gonna come to like massacre, but I'm saying that things are gonna get bad and you need to prepare. I just really want to stress that.
Yeah. I mean, it's basically like expect the worst, hope for the best. I mean, that's kind of how I put it, because I do think there's a lot of like, positive outcomes that are going to, and are happening despite these factors. But that doesn't mean that they're not going to stop and they're not going to continuously be aggressive to these things. I mean, these things are going to definitely continue to grow as issues and are going to continue to be very militant problems. So hence why there needs to be a more consistent aggression towards, going against this whole idea, that these, fascist motherfuckers are trying to push. Because broadly, all in all it does is just, like, undermine any form of progress and undermine any form of actual, like, humanization and basic rights for people. I mean, this, it's utterly fundamentally dangerous and just antithetical to a modern society. Or at least, to a functioning one.
Vigilante shit is way more likely to happen soon than, like, the government doing anything. Like, a Republican president could get in there and just, like, have a DOJ that just doesn't prosecute vigilante justice or whatever.
If anything, they would just pardon them or immediately drop the case.
Refer to it as.
Which Greg Abbott did that for a fucking terrorist who killed a bunch of BLM protesters with his vehicle and gun back in 2020. So, that's just what they're gonna do.
There you go. So, it's not like, using legislative timetables is not always the best way to go about this kind of stuff too.
Right. I also want to say, I mean, live your life and go about what you do. Don't stop having fun, and I don't want to end up like one of those fear-mongering Civil War II is coming, over on the right. Just like, this is just like basic stuff that...
buckets?
Yeah.
Kinder buckets?
Yeah, we're not going to be selling
buckets. Come on.
Get your hey trans.
Your bonus bucket.
Your Florida pack here today.
I was going to hawk this bucket at the end of the show, And so
you were waiting.
I'm selling survival packs. It has 14 MREs. It has a stun gun, some maze. No.
If Mike Figueredo starts selling that shit, I unironically would buy one of those packs. The Mike Figueredo Gay Lumberjack PNW Survival Pack.
You don't want... I don't think that you should live in fear for sure, but you just have to be practical about these things. Have a plan in place, and for God's sake, don't hide yourself, right? Don't start self-censoring. Coming out and being yourself is what normalizes these things, but just protect yourself, be cognizant of, your location and where you need to be more safe. Even if it's in a blue state, a particular area might be more rural, less accepting. Just be aware, and that's really important.
I'll also add one little piece of hopium, is that this has been tried before many, many times in the past, and they've never succeeded. They've come after the gays in the 80s, they've come after lesbians. The Nazis were straight up coming after the LGBTQ plus community. They have tried, and they have failed, and they will always fail.
Yep. Basically, it's what I was saying from earlier. It's like whatever short-term gains they make is essentially the inevitable long-term loss that they'll get.
I see y'all are at the calm everybody down from the fear that y'all stoked. I can hear it from the bathroom, but I hate to come in and say that they are in fact factually coming for that ass on all the rights. Factually, they just are. That's what my
come for that ass. I like how blunt she was about that. It's factually, they're just coming for that ass. Man, I like Olay, dude. I mean, the way she just describes things and just and just goes about commentating on stuff. I just love it. It's so colorful and it's just great. I love, like, when someone just has a very colorful vocabulary about, like, describing or talking about shit. It's just great. Actually, they're coming for that ass. Like, that's just awesome. I mean, obviously the implications is like, yeah, it's true, and oof, you know, you gotta be vigilant about that type of stuff, and, you know, be, you know, aware, and, you know, just be prepared, but... Yeah, I mean, you gotta have at least a little amusement and a little fun out of it. You gotta get a laugh out of it, you know?
About tomorrow on the actual teaching ever, you know, I'll give y'all a rant later on about how law school is made so unnecessarily hard, because I was very angry at how easy I could explain in 5 minutes in my episode a legal set of stuff that they really dragged out very painfully in law school. But anyhow, they are actually coming for your fucking rights, like explicitly, right? Like all your right, like the right to abortion and stuff is all anchored in the exact same constitutional thread as the right to gay marriage, the right to sodomy, right to any, with them calling it sodomy. But you know what I'm saying, all these different things.
Yep.
So yeah, no, they're actually materially coming for your right. You know, they might you know, I don't know what they did before, but they actually taking your shit. Like, it's actually, you see it's happening, right? That's why they went after abortion, and they went after gender-affirming care, and now they're trying to go after no-fault divorce. This is a means to control and strip away, marginalize the rights of marginalized identities and civil liberties that they previously cast. So I'm not saying don't live in fear. I'm not saying that, but don't delude yourself, because remember when people were telling them that they were telling them for years that they're coming for the right to abortion, and people, oh, no, they wouldn't do that. It's settled, everybody's...
It's settled. They got, you know, it has not been codified whatsoever, but, you know, totally settled, bro. It's a Supreme Court. Come on now.
No. And then now, you know, fucking right to abortion. Now it's banned in 15 states, severely restricted in 17. So I'm just saying, don't live in fear, but also be aware. They are, in fact, coming for your shit.
Be active. Go join organizations. Join local LGBTQ plus orgs if you don't have them in your area. There's lots of...
Join a local John Brown Gun Club or an SRA.
You can join. Food Not Bombs is a really good one. The Democratic Socialists in a lot of different cities do feeding programs, shit like that. But just get active, get involved, and then you'll get a lot more people in your community. You'll be safer in numbers. It's like it's one of the reasons why, and I think me and Mike have talked about this a lot. We fight so hard against organizations like the LGB Alliance or whatever, or Gays Against Groomers and stuff like that, because they are intentionally trying to separate members of the LGBTQ plus. Because you are safer when you have unity. You are safer when you have allies. You are safer when people like it's actually like what has flipped my script a little bit on rainbow washing is the fact that for some weird reason right now, so much of the right is going after Disney. You know, like that makes me happy. Or like,
I mean, like honestly, the fact that they are going after Disney so much is just really like just another long-term loss. Like the idea that like where majority of people, even other conservatives, like Disney. In Disney Entertainment, just from like all sorts of different swabs of like media that they put out. There's just like that it will never sell to anybody. Like, yeah, they might maybe agree, like, yeah, they probably shouldn't be so woke, but you really think they're gonna stop, consuming Disney? Fuck no. So eventually they're gonna be like, look, I get it, but look, it's just a movie, it's just a show, who gives a fuck? So like, you're gonna just have people like that. I mean, especially nowadays, like, because there's so many different people that are just not really fond of this whole woke shit anymore. I mean, again, it's why they're so fucking vocal about it, because they're realizing that it's like now or never, to a lot of the minds of these, far-right extremists. So that's why, you always have to be vigilant about this shit. Because because, they're, in a lot of ways, especially in the long term, going to be losing, because they do, and will. I mean, the more, they realize in their minds, like, oh shit, it's now or never. And the more it gets to that point, the more extreme they get.
Shooting up Bud Light cans and stuff like that is like, well, at least that's distracting you for a little bit. That's the one less moment that you are thinking about going after, like, trans kids or passing legislation or any of this kind of shit, It's, but get involved.
Yeah. Get involved now. Oh, goodness gracious. Yeah. But, anyway. It's a nice little bit of a morning run now. Oh my god. Wait, why is YouTube recommending me, like, conservative rag bullshit, the Babylon Bee? Motorcyclist who identifies as a bicyclist sets cycling world record. Oh, yep, nailed it. See, if, trans people could just identify whatever the fuck they want, this motorcyclist could identify as a bicyclist and thus win the bicycle contest. Like, oh my god, dude. Wow, just Jesus Christ. And that was a year ago? Fucking, oh my god, get that fucking garbage out of here, bro. Oh, wow. I've never even watched any of their, like, videos. Why in the fuck is that being recommended to me? YouTube, fix your shit. America. Hearing fucking F-15s flying up there. 100% guaranteed to be the Oregon Air National Guard, which is based out in Portland. Guaranteed. And they usually do flights around this time. They usually do little, like, training sorties around here. I don't know, like, what they'd be doing. I'm assuming just, like, flying around in a basic, like, practicing pattern or something. Like, cause judging based off of, like, you know, how they, well, I've seen them before, you know, and shit, doing their stuff. Usually they'll take off, then turn around and come down this way. Then I think they're just kind of doing a circle. Maybe they go off near the mountains and stuff and do, like, some training exercises and then circle back. I don't fucking know. I'm assuming maybe to go out in Cascades where they can do exercises where there's not as many people around so they can, you know, roll up the afterburners and shit. I mean, it makes sense. They're kind of going southeast a little bit, so it'll be kind of like in the Central Cascades, do exercises up north towards Mount Hood, then come back west. Yeah, it makes sense. I'm assuming that's at least, you know, one of their different little, like, training patterns that they do. Because they don't always come by around here, but they do make frequent flight patterns around over here. It's kind of cool to see them sometimes. Because every now and then I could tell that maybe one of them's trying to catch up and they have their afterburns going on a little bit. And, you know, so kind of hearing them, you know, going off and shit is actually pretty cool. It could be pretty, you know, interesting. I like it. I don't necessarily mind it too much. But then again, I like planes. But anyway, I think I'll call it nice and good for this little morning. So, of course, be back after work, which... Oh my god, I just realized, yep, the Matt Walsh Gauntlet. Fucking hell. I don't think I'm mentally prepared for that. I really don't think I am. Anyway, well, I guess I'll describe the Matt Walsh Gauntlet and let y'all know. But anyway, I'll be back once I get off work and all that fun shit, so peace out.